and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Navigating today's real estate market can be tricky. Want to buy or sell a house, finance or insure a house, or stuck with a house and don't know what to do? Florida Talk Real Estate has been your local one-stop real estate shop since 2012. Get the advice you need from your local real estate pros. Here are your hosts, Jim DePaola and Johnny C. live on Real Radio.
1, 2. Welcome to another edition of Florida Talk Real Estate. Shlemiel, Shlemazel. Saturday morning. It's going to get real interesting every Saturday. This is going to be a reason you want to join us right out the gates, by the way, because you get to have a little clap along, a little fun time. You're welcome. Bonus time on a Saturday. In addition to 2 hours of infotainment in the world of real estate. How about that? I see you out there, 92.1, 101.7. Thanks for being with us. Of course, if you're using your free download, your iHeartRadio app, thank you very much. We're worldwide, by the way. That's pretty big time. And we live stream. Yes, professionally live stream on a Saturday as well. Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. That's Florida Talk Real Estate LLC, home of a ton of informational chunk videos and our live stream on a Saturday. You can always join in whenever you'd like. Of course, if you're there out the gates, thank you very much for being with us. And of course, you're welcome to be a part of the program. Toll free, 877-927-6969. If you have a question, a comment, a concern in the world of real estate, don't be shy. Dial on in. Our producer extraordinaire, Jimothy, he's dying to get you on the air.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, my dude?
Sure am. Doing well. How are you, Johnny?
I'm good, man. Always
Nice.
good to see you, brother.
Nice. I see you got the clap again.
Yeah, again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I said the last time, I'm like, this is the last time.
Yeah, well, I guess that cream didn't work.
Yep. Synced it up perfectly. It never works, by the way. It's all in your head, you know?
Oh, all right. Good to know.
Johnny C., that's me, your old buddy, your old pal. Also clapping along today, there's Mike Rauch.
Yes, sir.
The mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. One of the very important people on a Saturday. Nice to see you.
VIP.
And thanks for clapping with us.
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just curious if the claps weren't perfectly synchronized, what impact
happens?
that's going to have.
Yeah.
So hopefully it was close enough.
Yeah, just so you get his little inside biz.
Yeah.
This is like tightening up the
To be
videos.
in the know.
Yeah. Things are getting so advanced in the technological world that now we're like, you know, this is the way Jim described it to us. You know, when you're watching professional filming, right? They have that little clapper. And
Right.
action.
Now you're messing it up. Now there's too many.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
clapped too many times.
All right, we got to
Yeah.
start it over.
Yeah, we had to.
What do they call those
start the
things?
intro.
I don't know what.
Take two.
Slate?
Slate.
No.
Clapper?
I think you could say it, and I don't know if I'd know it.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, you also said Shlomi.
Shlemazel.
Yeah, like how obscure is that these days? Do you know what that is, Ross?
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's good.
You got it. Cool.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Timothy, did you place the Shlemiel
Yes,
Shlemazel?
of course. Yeah.
Yes. Do you know the brand name that comes right
I have
after
the name.
Shlemiel Shlemazel?
Something Incorporated.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
It starts with an H.
Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassafas Incorporated. I don't know.
It's
something
really
like
close.
Pretty
that.
close to that,
It's like
yeah. That's really close.
Heffenfesser or something
Yeah.
like
Well,
that. Yeah.
what do you think the thing that you make the clapper sound
I'm
is
going
called
with
in
Slate.
movies?
Because Jimothy got it.
They're movie people. They're not that smart.
Oh,
So what do you think it's called?
Clapper.
Clapperboard.
Boom. Close enough.
The
You are-
clapperboard.
you
Does that
are
count? Do I
welcome.
get paid on that?
You do, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, part of the education process today.
Nice.
And thank you for being with us, of course.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Ross Komarinetz was here, clapped on time as well with the clapperboard in his hand. He's with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. Ross, how are you?
I am doing well. Thank
Ross is like me before we started. I'm like, I'm a little nervous about this.
I feel like Ross was slightly off, actually.
Was he a little ahead? A
I
little
think we
behind?
were off a little bit.
you. No, but I did accidentally clap my microphone, so we're gonna have a good audience. I made contact. It was a little close.
Oh man.
I didn't make sure I was on camera and got the.
I thought it looked peripherally, it looked awesome to me. Thank you for your efforts today. Appreciate you very much. And the one that does know the Heffens something or another Incorporated, that's Jimmy D. 13 plus years now, running a top producing Keller Williams team, the Florida Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovations. Jimmy D, how you doing over there? Did we clap okay?
I think we did okay this time.
This time.
Yes, I'm really excited about this. If this clap thing works, I know it sounds really silly, but this clap thing works. it's going to totally transform our YouTube channel. So
love
I'm
that.
really excited. Just the stupid little clap.
Well, here's
That clap might make the difference.
Here's the thing. Sometimes when you're the innovator, right,
Mhm.
you get mocked a little bit.
Oh, of course.
Right. Watch all these shows start 1, 2, hello and welcome. Like it's going to catch on.
I think it's going to be our thing. 1, 2, boom, and then we're going to start the show.
right.
It seems like
Little
such
more
a low-tech solution to a very high-tech problem.
I know.
I'm not sure if it's going to catch on.
You know that?
No, I'm not sure.
I feel pretty good about it.
We got a lot to talk about today. There's a million shout outs with teachable moments. So we're going to go into some of those for buyers and sellers and student loan people and all kinds of things. We're going to be talking about some good news. Florida insurance is actually making good news nationally. Nationally making good news right now. So Ross, you can crawl out of the hole. Be very proud of what you do for a living.
Puff the chest
But
out.
yeah, puff that chest out because you're doing good things for people. And
Thanks, Ross.
Although if he starts feeling too good, you could always get into selling health insurance at the health insurance marketplace. Like, talking to those people about their increases that are coming up this year.
Oh, don't even get into that. I met with my health provider yesterday.
Oh boy.
25% increase. I'm going to be paying close to $30,000 a year just for health insurance. $30,000 a year just for health insurance.
Stop.
One person, not family coverage.
How do you opt to do that?
I'd
be like,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
pass on
I'm
health
actually
insurance,
for the first year. I'm actually thinking.
Just self-insure.
I'll just come out of pocket.
I actually was wondering, am I better off just doing like a health savings plan thing and just throwing the money in there, which is tax deductible, 100% tax deductible, which your health insurance is not, right?
Well,
it's
not deductible, it's just not taxed, right?
It's not taxed, right? It's
right.
tax
It goes
deferred.
in pre-tax, but it doesn't have anything to do with your negotiations on what you pay.
No,
right?
but
So it's just money that's taxed.
No, but my friend who's an attorney is he taught me a lot about if you don't have an insurance and you go and you meet with the bill collectors for the hospital, the amount of discounts you can get if you just pay cash. It's like crazy what you can get.
Hey, you can do a walk-in clinic if you got, something fairly minor. You don't get charged with insurance companies.
But the government will penalize you, right?
Mine is going 25% up, and I'm not part of the Obamacare stuff.
Right.
So if I were relying on that too,
it's going up even more than that.
I would have went up 40%, 45%.
Why aren't you part of the ACA?
Income.
Oh, there's income limits to whether you're can get from the marketplace?
Yes, because they don't want not that I'm super wealthy, but they don't want wealthier
like
people.
That. People like Johnny.
Yeah, the Obamacare thing was to try to get people who didn't have health insurance to get into the plan so everybody else wasn't paying for their emergency medical room visits.
It supplements you. It supplements you. And then at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, if you made too much money, you actually pay for it.
Yeah.
You don't just get away with it. If you made too much, they're like, okay, well, we gave you too much actually for your health care.
All right.
Yep.
So,
but
anyway,
it provides an insurance for both, whether you get a supplement or not.
Right.
I mean, you can still just add any Joe Blow.
Sure.
I mean, you can make however much money you want and still buy insurance.
You're just not getting supplements.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so frustrating is that when Obamacare was created, we were seeing these kind of increases all the time for insurance.
Oh yeah.
25% a year, 20% a year, 25% a year, 30% a year, right? We kept seeing that, sometimes even higher than that. And then Obamacare was supposed to reduce that. And we're still seeing these huge increases. Not that the old plan was better. It just didn't fix the problem to the level. Now, it did get more people insured.
Yes.
And that's a really important thing, I think. If I didn't have my health insurance, I'd be dead right now, right? For sure.
Well,
with the things that I had happen in my life.
We say it's good that people are insured, but we just kind of started the conversation with, it might be cheaper to just come out of pocket. So it's a weird dilemma.
It's
pre-existing,
anyway,
the pre-existing condition part, I think is probably the best part about that law.
Well, that's where you definitely hang your hat on.
And that's my big problem is if they take out pre-existing conditions not covered, I'm sure there's way more people more like me than not like me.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Because
I think in general, like the older you get, the more you're going to have
Pre-existing
history.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But anyway, enough of the soapbox.
Sorry, that was
about
my
that.
fault.
Anyway, I was just stunned yesterday that I'm going to pay 30,000. I got a budget $30,000 a year just to pay my health plan. That doesn't include deductibles.
That's just your coverage.
That's just my monthly fee. My monthly fee is going to be $2,200.
Something's got to give.
$2,200 and change a month.
And that's one person.
Not
You're not
including-
family of 5.
No, that's just me.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, my
60-something-year-old guy. Right, so I don't know how this is not going to be sustainable for a lot of people. So I don't. It just doesn't matter. Something's got to be fixed. This whole government is so broken on both sides. I mean, I'm not picking here.
Well, you said whole government. So if you
the whole
dissected a certain part out of that statement, that's on you. We
Yeah.
said whole
Yeah.
government.
My thing is about this whole thing, especially with the shutdown, is we pay those people to talk to each other and hammer out a deal, both sides, right? And if they're not doing that, they're not doing their job, because that's what we pay them to do. And they're sitting there and they're both sitting in their corners, not moving. And I understand the rationale, for both sides, why they say they're doing it, but doesn't make it right. Just because they're saying they're doing it and why they're doing it, the rationalization does not prove an effective government. We need to have government work for us. They're supposed to work for us.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm done with that. It's so sick. It's just making me sick watching all that stuff. Enough about that. Besides, I know Mike's like, whoa.
Wow.
Mike's like, wow. Anyway,
We usually don't go that deep.
insurance got me so upset. I couldn't believe. I was like, are you kidding me? Right, when I was talking to my health insurance agent, I was like, are you kidding me?
You might be able to go either to Canada or Mexico for your procedures and just do cash pay.
And
Like
I
save
probably-
the 30 grand. Be like, listen, what do I need? I'm going to Mexico.
I think the HSA is a wonderful option
if
if you're going that route.
Yeah, I have a friend, Mike Guest, who used to be on our team.
Mm-hmm.
He replaced all his teeth, all 32 of them.
Oh.
And he went down there and he did the full thing. I think he went down there 3 times and got a whole new set of choppers, implants.
Down south somewhere.
Down in Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico?
Yeah, in Mexico. And he went down to Mexico. He said it was the best medical care he ever got in
Monkey
his
teeth?
life.
They use monkey teeth?
And I'm sorry?
Do they use monkey teeth?
Yeah, they use monkey
Use
teeth. Yeah.
capybaras.
Yeah. Yeah. So besides talking to, we got some other things to talk about besides shout outs. We're going to talk a little about who's leaving and who's coming to Florida. Now that we had that election up in New York, there's so much news, and I heard so much scuttlebutt that I don't even know what the guy's name, because I didn't keep up too much on it. What is it, Madami?
Yeah.
When Madami won the thing,
Mondami.
they said, what is it?
Mondami.
Mondami.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to make fun of the guy's name. So when that guy won mayor, they were predicting that all these people are going to have like a mass exodus from New York, and that most of them are coming to Florida. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I did a little research on that, and some people are saying that. And there's another headline
They're
saying,
just moving out of New York City.
Uh,
They're just
There'll
going
be
to go.
some people coming down.
I guess.
I've got one already pre-approved.
well,
because of the mayor change in New York City.
I mean, I guess easy to say,
Yeah.
but she's a flight attendant. She can kind
well,
of.
we're going to get
live
into all
wherever.
that. We'll
Yeah.
get into all that in a little bit. Let me see. I'm sorry. Also, I thought it was kind of interesting. I have this little conspiracy thing going on with me right now. Has anybody seen that show? I think it's on HBO or something called The Chair. It's a really ridiculous comedy show, but it's about a guy who works in a drone, like a office drone kind of guy, and he's doing this big announcement in front of a group of people, and his chair collapses. And it's a very big embarrassment to him because everybody's laughing at him and everything, because the chair collapses while he was doing this thing.
Right.
And he becomes obsessed and he starts investigating the chair company. And it's only on episode 4 now. But he's finding out all this weird conspiracy stuff about the chair company, and that there might be this huge conspiracy. And you're not sure if it's in the guy's head or if it's a real conspiracy yet. Right. And it's a comedy. Right. So anyway, I'm starting to look at this iguana thing, and I think I'm becoming the chair guy. Because what I found out is now they have a new rule. The Florida Wildlife Commission came out with a new rule for the green iguanas on how you have to transport them, Remember, you're allowed to sell them out of state now.
Right.
Well, now there's transport rules about it, and I'm going to get into that a little later because I'm wondering where all these iguanas are going. That's what I wanted to find out. Like, who's buying all these iguanas? And I think I got a little thing going, so I think that would be kind of fun.
Look at your little investigative reporting
I
going
got
on
my
here.
little. I do. It's like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Do you want to take a quick phone call, or do you want to?
Oh, I didn't know we had a quick phone call. Let's go ahead and
I don't
take
know
it.
how quick it is, but we do.
Yes, we do. We have Kelly on the line now. It is a little unrelated, but she wanted to talk about living wills versus a trust.
Yeah.
Kelly, welcome to Florida Talk Real Estate. How you doing?
Good morning, everybody. I miss you guys, Johnny C. I mean, y'all remember Justin, not Jason.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So I have an iguana story at a complex I lived in West Palm years ago. That's another topic. But my question was about if you are leaving Florida, you're going to another state, and there's your parents' house that they're elderly, and what is better way to go to keep your home? Is it a living trust? Is it a will? Like, how do we do this from out of state?
So I'm not an expert on this because I'm not what my old business partner Rob used to say. I'm not an attorney and I'm not playing one on air.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul Krasker will have the definitely answer for this. But what I think is going to be the answer is the life trust is usually, I think, the better of the situation.
The life estate.
Life estate.
The
Did I say life trust?
ladybird deed.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the way that works is that the person that owns the house still owns the house, but then somebody comes on as a co-owner. And then if that person passes, the original owner passes without going to probate, it goes directly to the other person that's in the
remainder
the estate, right?
Yeah.
The life estate.
So it's basically your parents or parents, basically, or anybody says it's a deed transfer, but I am able to stay in this home with rights to control and leverage and, get a mortgage or do anything, sell, do any of that for the remainder of my life. And then once I pass, it goes to the person listed or person or people listed in the deed.
And in most cases, I'm not an expert, but in most cases, I think that you don't have to go through probate. And that's one of the reasons why you do that. Now,
that's the big advantage of it. It separates that. And then there's also two other elements, whether it's a revocable or irrevocable trust too. And that matters as far as what you're going to do with the property while the person that owns it is alive. And then it also protects it from being an asset as well to that person if they ever need Medicaid. So
that's the trust stuff, Jimmy.
Yeah,
so that's different. That's
trust.
Timothy Esquire.
That's different than the life estate deed.
Mhm.
So one of them is just a deed and has no other estate planning implications. A lot of people are setting up a revocable or irrevocable, which is a little bit, more strict because it can never be changed once it's done.
Right.
That's more part of an overall estate plan, like an estate. I wanted to say estate planning plan, an estate plan, right? But within that, you control the transfer of the property, and so you create your trust. And then within the trust, you put assets in control of the trust, such as the home, the property, and then you title the home to the trust. And then the trust kind of designates what happens, with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could also
depends on what you want to do. And I think was my overall point is, you may have different avenues you want to go down. Kelly's talking about maybe moving to another state. So that might have something to do with it. Yeah. So, there are different aspects and sitting down with somebody like Paul Krasker, he can answer those questions for you so that you can tell them what you're looking to do.
Yeah. I think doing stuff specifically just with the title of the home can handle the home on its own, but there might be more to the story.
Yeah.
In which case the trust is a tool that's used, but ultimately if you want to do estate planning, your parents want to do estate planning, and it could be something as like, hey, listen, I want to make sure this goes to this person, this goes to this, and then this, you guys split or whatever it is. There just might be more than the house. And that's when you want to just sit down with an estate planning attorney and tell them, whoever it is, what they want to do.
Well,
and
my situation is I'm moving from Florida back home to my mother. So it's in Pennsylvania. So laws are different in every state.
Yes.
I'm getting that a will and trust or a life of will is very much quicker than a dead set will, is what they call them in Florida. Probate. Evidently, you could be in probate for 2 or 3 years before you get. I mean, I guess that's the better way to go with the trust as opposed to a will.
I mean, I definitely states are going to be different, and you definitely want to. So whoever's estate you're talking about, I can't tell if it's your parents' estate or your estate, but whoever's estate it is, if they want certain things to happen in a specific way, they need to talk to an estate planning attorney who is licensed in that state and knows the rules of that state. So Florida's probate process is very different than Pennsylvania's. I don't know how different, but different. So depending on whose estate it is and where they reside, that's where you talk to your estate planning attorney and figure out all of that wants to be,
And it isn't that expensive usually to do this.
Right.
A lot of people avoid, they're like, oh, attorney, expensive, right? And then they don't want to do it and they shut down emotionally. They don't check it out. It isn't usually that expensive to do this stuff. We just had a customer who was unfortunately diagnosed with a life-threatening disease and was given a certain amount of time to live. And we weren't sure that the person was going to make it through the closing. How horrible is that?
Terrible.
So I explained to them that they might want to have a relative and set up a life estate right away so that, God forbid, if something happens, that they don't get sucked into the probate system in Florida.
with the house.
And we're talking about house only, so that they would have the ability to sell it. Or if we're in a contract and the person passed, that we wouldn't have to be forced to go into probate and not be able to sell the house to the buyer.
Right.
And it only cost, in this case, in Florida, they went to Paul Krasker and it cost hundreds of dollars to get it done. And it saved so much time. Now, thank God my customer did not pass.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good thing. But we had it all set
Had a
up
little
and
security
protected. It was
blanket.
super fast, super quick. Not a big deal.
Yeah. The other thing she mentioned, living will. So in my experience, and Johnny, you've done this too. The overall estate plan will include a will include sometimes a trust, will include advanced directives for how you want your end of life care to be managed. So it's kind of it's more than just a house.
Right.
And there's things that people don't think about. It's sometimes a very difficult subject to even bring up because it involves your demise essentially, or the loss of a loved one. And but there's more to it than what you think. So it's if there are things including bank accounts, like all of these things, like they have default. When you pass, there's default decisions that are made in the probate or estate process. And if you want something other than that to happen, you gotta write it down.
Yeah, don't
You
let
gotta
the
get it
state
down.
decide.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
So mom right now, who's 80, mom is worried they're going to, for Medicaid, if she has to go in a nursing home, they're going to take her out. So that's how, when you read it online, it looks. If I have to go in a nursing home and we can't pay, they're going to take her out.
I've heard of that before, but this is kind of above our pay grade here. You really need to talk to the attorney that's going to do the right thing. And Mike is 100% correct. An attorney in Pennsylvania. My only other advice is, besides making sure that they understand probate, estates, wills, that they really understand real estate too, because I don't know how many times I've seen a probate attorney or an estate attorney put together paperwork, and then when they go to sell a property connected to that estate, the title company isn't satisfied the way that it was put together. And then it's becomes a big mess because the person isn't around to change it. So just be really careful of that too. So just make sure you got all of that covered, Kelly. When are you going to be moving up to Pennsylvania?
We're going to stay there. I'm thinking after, we were supposed to go before COVID. I'm thinking after the holidays. As you all know, well, you don't know, but I have a nonverbal autistic kiddo who Johnny C has met many times. Word services are just better up there, and mom's up there. She's 80. She needs help. I need to get back home. And these are all questions that are valid when you're looking at what to do and how to move forward. And believe it or not, the scammers are still out there. There are scammer people trying to get your probate. There are scammer people trying to underwrite your title. And that happens. So I appreciate your knowledge and your advice going forward.
Well, we appreciate you being out there, Kelly. And obviously, we hope everything goes well with whatever transition you guys go through. Have an awesome remainder of your weekend, and thanks for all the support over the years.
Hey.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Hey,
Let me... Real quick,
ahead,
877-927-6969, toll free. You're more than welcome to join the program like Kelly just did. Questions, comments, concerns in the world of real estate, dial in. Jimothy will go ahead and get you going. Of course, if you're not comfortable on the radio, remember you have access to an entire team. Pros, experts in their field. Guys like Paul Krasker, the law office of Paul Krasker, not in studio, but part of the Florida Talk Real Estate team. You get a professional in whatever field you're looking for. One click away. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. It's FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
I want to kind of plow through the shout outs right now, and then we'll take the break at 9:30.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My first shout out is one of my favorites for the whole year, let alone than just this month. Joe and Linda. Joe and Linda came to us years and years ago. Joe's a truck driver, and they wanted to buy their first home, and they were seniors at the time, right? They were in their 50s or something like that, and they wanted to buy their first home. And that always gets me excited when I'm helping first-time home buyers. But even when they're older and they're first-time home buyers, that gets me really excited. It's like the first time they own a home ever. It's great. And we helped them buy a house up in Vero. I remember at the time it was during COVID, and we had a really tough negotiation on the repairs for the house during the negotiations to trying to get it sold. And I remember sitting in my one of my bedrooms I used as converted into an office back then, and working the phones really hard, looking out my window, trying to get the deal done. And I didn't know, it was very iffy whether it was going to close or not. And we got it done. I was so happy. And they've been living there ever since, 5-6 years now, 5 years. And doing great. Mike, I think they used you for the loan at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And they used Ross for insurance.
Beautiful.
And they used Trident Title. No, I don't know if they used Trident Title Close because they were on the buyer side on that one. But I know they would have if they could have.
Right.
Then what happened is they started referring us to a lot of friends and family members, which we really appreciated over time.
Yes,
some of them we were able to work with, some we were not.
Oh,
Sorry
damn.
about that. My
Want me to
phone
clap?
is,
1,
yeah,
2.
should we clap now? I don't know who's calling me. These people don't know what I do for a living. So
I thought Jimothy was. You said like they started referring friends and family, and then I heard the music. I'm like, oh, Jimothy got a drop.
Yes.
Referrals. It's a referral drop.
We are professionally produced. Yes.
So Joe and Linda came to me just a few months ago, and they said that they had inherited a property and they wanted to sell it, and they weren't sure how to do it because they had relatives that wanted to buy it, but they really needed to sell it fast. And there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes about whether the relatives could afford the loan or not. Joe and Linda wanted to make a certain amount of money no matter what, whether they sold it to their relatives or sold it on the open market. So Mike and I went down the rabbit hole with the family trying to get them financed. We couldn't really get them financed through Mike at the time. And then they decided to bring in another relative. This is after Mike kind of stepped out of the picture, and they brought in another relative who came in and actually became the buyer. A third relative, right, became the buyer. And we were able to close the deal. It was so touchy, Mike. I was so wishing that you were the mortgage broker at the time, because it was very stressful right up into the last moment. And we got it done and we closed it last week, and I'm really
nice.
Really, really happy for everybody. Joe and Linda are great people, and they gave up a lot of equity in that house to let a family member buy it, which I thought was
amazing.
Really amazing thing to do for a family member.
It really is.
So it was a win-win-win for everybody, and it just really, really happy. And then Joe and Linda gave me one of the best Google reviews I've had in so long.
Nice.
And I really, really appreciate that. So anybody listening, if you like the show or if you like the advice you got, even if you didn't use this, like you called up Mike and Mike said, don't do a refi. You're not, bless you. don't do a refi. You're not gonna. The money doesn't make sense for you to do the refi right now. And let's say that's the advice you got, and that was it. And you were like, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't do the refi and waste my money." Go and give us a little review on Google, and just let us know. Hey, these are great people, honest, reliable, whatever you want to say. Just go ahead and put it on our Google review. And Joe and Linda, thank you for trusting me.
Yeah, I always love talking to Joe and Linda, and I think even though I wasn't able to be part of this, it got complicated at that stage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I planted the seed for the gift of equity, which is how they ended up working it at the end of the day. I think the trouble was so Joe and Linda, we have a long relationship. They trust me implicitly. And then the family members weren't getting, the
best advice.
They just weren't getting a yes. And I was like, that became something like, well, what's wrong with your guy? Right? Like your guy can't get this. And, there was a little bit of friction there with the relationship that I'm trying to establish with buyers. Right. And so it just, ended up.
It's such a teachable moment, because what happened with that is Mike was telling them, I'm sorry, you can't get the loan the way that this is being structured.
Let's try this.
And they didn't like the answer.
Yeah.
So they were like, the answer, they were projecting that Mike was the problem when Mike wasn't the problem. He was there telling them what the problem was, which is a big difference between being the problem and helping them with the problem.
Right.
So they had another person, and this is the part that really drove me crazy. They had another person behind the scenes, another mortgage person who was a broker, not a direct lender like Mike, who was guaranteeing that they could get the loan for these relatives. And I knew they couldn't get it because Mike said they couldn't get it. If anybody's going to get it, Mike's going to get it as long as it's legit. And he promised them that they were going to get the loan. And then 2.5, 3 weeks later,
no chance.
They was like, no, they're not getting the loan.
Right.
I'm like, we just wasted 3 weeks, right, of spinning our wheels. So anyway, that was part of the problem. So the teachable moment there was, if you're getting a no, understand why you're getting the no and try to fix it, and just don't project onto the person telling you no.
Right.
Because Mike never says no. What he says is not right now.
Or not this way.
Yeah,
or,
right. You can't do it this way.
something
It's
else.
not a no. It's just like, hey, we got things to fix.
Here's what we got to do.
Yeah.
And they ended up coming in with another family member, right?
That's how
was
they
part
fixed
of the picture.
it. And
So,
Mike could have done that too if they
Sure.
were more open to talking to Mike.
Yeah.
It's just that they shut down emotionally. The buyers, I'm talking about, not Joe and Linda. They shut
Right.
down emotionally. And Joe and Linda were very frustrated through it because they really wanted Mike to be involved in this deal too. But we got it all done.
Yeah, I'm glad
really
they got
happy.
it done.
Yeah.
And
Wanted to just really quick. I know that we're running, we're late. I wanted to give another shout out. This was a really good week of closings. Another shout out to Victor. I've known Victor probably 7-8 years now. He was a fan of the show, Real Radio, listens to it because he drives around everywhere. His girlfriend needed to sell a house in West Palm. I helped him sell the house back in the day, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years ago. And we've kept in touch the whole time. And we kind of became buddies. We've gone out a couple times together and everything. And then he said to me a year ago this month, Jim, I got to sell my house by the end of the year. And he was done. He wanted to move up where his girlfriend moved to, up in the Northeast.
so he gave you a year to sell his house?
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's not bad.
no, we didn't put the house on the market until last month.
Ah,
And we only had it on the market 8 days, and we got nearly full list price for it and got the deal done. I was so happy who bought that house too, because it was a family, not an investor. It was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home in West Palm, under $400,000. So thank you, Victor, for trusting us. And I hope you enjoy your life up north, and hope to see you again soon.
Yeah. Really.
Wanted to say just about a couple other people. Wanted to give a shout out to Jamie. We're going to put her house on the market Monday. That's the Airbnb property in Jupiter that I talked about with Ross last week. Thank you, Jamie. We're going to be putting that on the market Monday. Mike and Joe, we just put their property on the market. Johnny's going to know this property. It's in the Colonnades in Fort Pierce.
Oh yeah.
And really nice condo unit out there. Just put out everything. I'm still working on the videos on that. Should have that out Monday, Tuesday.
And go fish B-Dock if you're out there and you like fishing.
Oh my God. How many fish have you caught on those docks?
I can't count.
Yep. And what a great Florida lifestyle out there. It's on South Hutchinson Island. There's 1 million restaurants, 1 million happy hours, tons of places to eat. You can go fishing every day. Just drop a line off the dock. There's rentable boat docks out there. Got the Olympus-sized swimming pool that they used to use for the historic. What was that for the invasion of Normandy?
Yeah,
What
there
did
was
they use
the Navy SEAls.
The
used to
Navy
train
SEAls
there.
used to.
That's all
used
part
to-
of the UDT Navy SEAls Marine. I think they actually depict that pool in that museum.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking for a Florida retirement lifestyle on a budget, you got to give me a call about that property because that's a fun place to live. Let me see what else. Okay. I wanted to say shout out to Ambrose and Laura. We're going to be putting their home on the market Monday. It's a Century Village unit. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath unit up in Century Village. It has some upgrades. It's not fully upgraded, but it's got some nice upgrades and it's clean and ready to go. And there's no issues with the building or the unit. And then finally, shout out to Gary. Gary called up in a panic because his daughter had massive student loan debt. He heard our radio show. He gave us a call. We got him over to the law office of Paola Krasker. They got fabulous results. I'm going to get into more detail about that in a future show.
Awesome.
But student loan, if you're in trouble, we know there's a lot of people right now that are hurting financially. If you have student loan debt and that's settling you down too, call us. We might be able to get you some spectacular results.
That's right.
And for sure, we'll get you the answers you need for free, whether you like the answers or not. And most people are going to like the answers like Gary.
That's right. Yeah, it really is a really harmless experience, and you can benefit massively. And as we found out over the years, if you're paying your student loans monthly and you're on time, you're really not even going to feel the costs that you're going to be putting into trying to get this remarkable results that are potentially there for you, because it kind of just works out with the way the whole repayment plan works out. You'll be pretty happy with it. Trust your boy. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Look, if you're looking for that student loan debt help or anything that touches the world of real estate, I assume we're going to break. Yes, Jim?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
Thank you. Please remember FloridaTalkRealEstate.com, the one-stop real estate shop. We call it that for a reason because you get a team of pros. Like Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach, like Mike Rauch, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. We've mentioned the law offices of Paola Krasker, Jimmy D over there with the Florida Home Pros team. It goes on and on. We got the best of the best, and they work cohesively together. If you've never experienced it, you're going to be glad you did. And of course, if you have, well, you've been sharing the information. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it. You can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of Florida Talk Real Estate. We're back in 4 minutes. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. Florida Talk Real Estate, right here. It's Real Radio.
What's a Real Radio podcast? It's Real Radio on demand. Find your favorite show at realradio921.com. Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. We are expecting a pleasant but warm and humid day. It's not as oppressively warm and humid as we're used to during the summer times. However, we are going to see increased humidity as a result of our approaching cold front, which will arrive on Monday.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that saving is always top of mind, especially this season. Shop early Black Friday deals like select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $59.98. Because it's basically Christmas, right? Lowe's, we help you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's Florida Talk Real Estate.
This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, there it is. 877-927-69. Oh, damn. 1, 2. We have to do that every time or no?
You guys are so easy to amuse.
What if we weren't?
Yeah,
It's all
I like
serious.
It. No, I
It's
like
all
it this
serious
way. I
in
love
here.
it this way.
Strictly
Yeah.
business.
Sounds terrible.
We only have to clap at the beginning, right?
Only one time a show. That's all you
all right.
have to do.
But we can do it every time. if
You know,
have
we
to.
could do it every time just so I could get used to. Maybe it would be a backup plan.
All right.
We'll try it next week. We'll
It'll
see what
get
happens.
us going for every segment. I mean, it's like
like an
like a
energy
huddle.
booster. Yeah, like a huddle.
yeah,
1,
like
2,
when you break
3.
the huddle. Yeah,
Exactly.
1, 2, 3.
And then we pat each other on the ass and away we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that kind of.
We do that anyway.
Well, Jimmy, he'll pat the
Not
front.
new.
He'll pat the front, but you know.
We got you covered front and back.
It's just one pat, Jim. Just one pat. only.
Exactly.
What's the
Stop
capital
that.
of Thailand?
Always remember, some people will be like, I got your back. You're not us. We got your front, right, Jimmy?
Damn right.
Let's go.
Good morning.
Come on. Thanks for being with us. Johnny C is me, Jimothy, our producer extraordinaire. Of course, he's right over there.
Hello, hello, and good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. 877-927-6969. Toll free if you'd like to join us. Jimothy will line you up. Maybe you want to talk with Mike Rauch, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm here, available for questions.
I love that. Or maybe you would like to speak with Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. What's up, Ross?
Not a whole lot. Waiting to answer some questions, I guess.
Yeah, get in line behind Mike.
All right.
All right. And of course, maybe you'd like to chat with Jimmy D, Jim DePola with the Florida Home Pros team. He runs a top producing team, y'all, with Keller Williams Innovations. What's up, Jimmy D?
Hey, I'm doing great. Happy South Florida, everybody. It's a beautiful day out. Just to mention, the National Weather Service or the Hurricane Center or something said that they don't see anything happening for the rest of the year for hurricanes.
Thanks for that. I think
Which
we could
means-
all got there.
Yep. I'm knocking on wood,
Knocking
but
on
the
wood.
bottom.
What
I thought the
November
We
9th?
only got 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
I thought
So
they were shut
nothing
down.
for the rest of the hurricane season.
That's what they're
But
saying.
after that, anything could happen.
Is it
Yeah.
Isn't Jimothy right? There's no staffing there right now?
I thought they were shut down.
That's
Yeah,
why
that's
they're saying
true.
there's
Maybe
no
that's why
predation.
they're saying
Yeah,
that.
there's nobody here,
Yeah.
so we're good.
No,
So,
they-
like they're just not saying anything at all. Okay,
You
that
have
makes
to,
sense.
You have
Yeah.
to be when you're creating content. You have to be the beast. You can't just take weeks off.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep, that's so true. So I wanted to talk about some good news today. We've been talking about, one of the things I'm very proud about on this show is that we try to really be newsy and real without an agenda, right? Without trying to say what we like or don't like. And we've been telling people for quite a while now that the insurance rates are going down, home insurance rates are going down. And then Ross explained to us that even auto rates are going down in Florida right now too. And we're not really seeing that. What you read is in the national headlines and everything is like, Florida, worst insurance rate ever, blah, 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 unaffordable, everything. And we've been saying, yeah, that did happen, but we've been seeing it going down for quite a while now, right? Because we've been talking about it. Ross last week talked about a guy who just saved $5,000 a year on his insurance plan. He had a $10,000 insurance policy, put on a new roof. That opened up many, many insurance companies that he could choose from at that point and saved him $5,000. Thank you, Ross, for doing that.
Yeah, seriously.
And I'm sure that guy was pretty happy. And here's a headline now that I was like, finally, people are starting to wake up and catch up with us. And the headline is, relief at last. Property insurance prices cool after years of climbing. And the article is talking about exactly what we've been talking about for months now. Property insurance rates are going down dramatically for most people. Unless you've got like a really old roof or something like that, you have a lot more opportunities now. There were 16 new insurance companies that came into the Florida market right now.
Nice.
16, right? We had the most people leave 2 or 3 years ago. We had the most insurance companies leave. I think we only had Ross, like 6 companies in the whole state insuring at that point or something.
I mean, man, I've tried to block out that period of.
yeah, I don't blame you. So, but things are
I
so
think
much.
it was one. It was called Citizen.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was saying back then. Citizens. You talk about anything, citizens. And you say, what about the citizens?
It was Citizens.
Like,
No, but it made it really easy to shop for quotes, right? Like for you, Ross, just like, just get a quote from Citizens, right?
Yeah,
Like you didn't
yeah.
have
But
to
I
go
mean,
around.
we still always checked everybody just in case. But Citizens was always the best.
That's where he wanted to do a career change. It's like I keep on checking 12 different carriers every time, and there's only one ever coming back.
That's the one.
So we are seeing decrease in rates, but the same, we have the same opinion out there because there was a guy named Marcelo, and thank you, Marcelo, for listening to the show. Hopefully you'll like our page and let people know about it. But he sent a message to us when we said we were going to be talking about insurance, and he wrote, what did he write? I'm sorry, where is it? Oh, come on. I can't even find it right now. But he said something sarcastic about, insurance rates here are ridiculous or something like that. Like insurance rates in Florida are ridiculous. Well, they are higher than the rest of the country. There's no doubt about that. But as far as...
He might have wrote that when we were talking about health insurance.
Yeah, you were right, Jim. He just said that, insurance, that's ridiculous. They're ridiculous.
The rates are ridiculous. And they have been. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But what I'm telling you, Marcelo, is that you probably, if you're concerned about that, go get a quote.
Better.
Yeah, go get a quote and find out if you can get better. A lot of people are just assuming it's bad because they're reading the headlines, and the headlines are saying insurance is bad in Florida, it's expensive, and you think that there's nothing you can do. All you have to do is send us your address, either by email or on a phone or a text, and say, hey, here's my address. Can Ross give me a quote? And if you give me your email and your address and your phone number, Ross will reach out to you and give you your answer the next day, if not that day.
Yep.
And if you can save $5,000 with one phone call, do you think it's worth it? Right? And not everybody.
Phone rates are pretty high.
Yeah. So Ross, tell
Is
me.
it toll free?
Yeah, the phone rates. Yeah, exactly.
Text messaging rates apply.
So Ross, like out of the people that are coming to renew right now, are a lot of them getting discounts, or is it just the ones with just put on a brand new roof? Or it's like, do you have to do something to your house to get these huge discounts that some people are seeing right now?
I mean, the new roof is the biggest driver, just because that's probably one of the biggest rating factors as far as premiums go. But it's not so much any new discounts or anything like that. It's just the carriers have experienced. I had a meeting with a carrier this week, and I think he said something like, we went from 12,000 litigation files in a year, like being litigation filed against us in a year, down to 800.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's funny. I was talking to a paralegal earlier this week who worked at a insurance defense. That's the majority of the practice was insurance defense. I'm like, oh, so you're working for the carriers. He said, yeah, most of our stuff was through Citizens, and he's looking for a new job because they just slowed their volume slowed so far down that, he's trying to figure out what's next for
they don't need as many paralegals.
They don't need as many support staff, because the amount of cases that they were handling plummeted
from 12,000 to 800 for one carrier.
Yep.
That's amazing results.
Yeah.
And that was all through just the changing in how you can sue your insurance company, right?
Yeah. So they basically can't throw stuff at a wall and hope something sticks anymore.
Right. So for those that don't recall, a lot of the blame game for why our insurance premiums went through the roof, obviously the natural disasters we have, that's part of it. But a lot of the blame game was litigation. It was we were give the numbers again, Ross. What was the claims percentage of?
Oh, it's
and
like
we were Florida was like 8% of property damage claims filed in the United States. We were 80% of the United States for property damage claims that resulted in a lawsuit.
That's huge.
And then I think the number was in 2020. Like I say 15 billion. And it sounds ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure I looked it up to verify it again. Like I've said it so many times, but the number sounds ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure it's true. But out of the $15 billion that was associated with the claims that resulted in their lawsuit, so all the money that was paid in those, only 8% went to actually pay the actual property damage claims.
So when they change the laws on how you can sue your
Yep. So 70% of the money went to the plaintiff's attorneys, and then you get the other like 20% to the insurance
broken down
attorneys.
for everybody else.
Right.
Yeah. So when you can change how the game is played, then you get dramatic results. And Ross told us it's going to take a little time, but you should start to see the results from this. And thankfully, it's working.
And it's working. So here's the good news. And part of the reason why we're seeing such huge discounts, there's another thing I thought that was kind of interesting, a little factoid stuff about what's going on with this, is the amount of people on Citizens. Remember at one point, Citizens, I think, was almost at 2 million people or something.
Sure. That depopulation has been going on for a while now, though.
Yeah.
They're getting really strict now.
Yeah.
They're going to start running their renewals through what they refer to as the clearinghouse. So if we want to actually bind a Citizens policy, we can't bind normally you do a quote and then you can move it to an application and then finalize it from there. Now you do a quote like in Citizens, but then if you want to finalize it, you have to run it, put all the information again and run it through this clearinghouse. And that clearinghouse determines whether or not it's eligible for Citizens, meaning does another carrier come back within 20% of that Citizens premium?
It feels like way it should be done, right? Because isn't Citizens kind of originally designed to be the carrier of last resort? This is your safety net. This is we really don't have any other options for you. Here's Citizens.
Right. And because it got so crazy, it used to be just kind of like on your honor, maybe there was another company close, but your proof that it met the condition was maybe you sent in another quote that was higher. We always tried to do things correctly. We never wanted to use Citizen.
Of course.
But now because it got so crazy, they actually require you to run it through this other system, and then hopefully it comes back okay, and then you can bridge it over from there and finalize it in there.
Like certified Citizens ready.
And then they're going to do that for the renewals too.
I do have a question about that. So let's say, just to make things really simple, let's say that your insurance policy is $1,000 a year. And
Where do I get that?
let's say Citizens gets me
Buy a small
$1,000.
condo.
Let's say Citizens gives me $1,000 a year, but that slide insurance, I'm just making it up, is $1,199 a year. So it's just below the 20%, right? So if it's below the 20%, I'm going to slide.
You're
right?
going to slide.
Even though that it would save me 20%.
You're not eligible with it for
You're not
Citizens
eligible.
anymore.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure about that. Now, for the numbers, listen to this. So we're at 2 million, right? Well, this year alone, we have taken 355 up to this date, 355,000 homeowners policies off of Citizens and moved it to private insurance, right? At the beginning of the year, we were at 1.4 million. Well, I shouldn't say the beginning of the year. We only have right now, we hit a peak of almost 2 million. We only have 482,000 policies left in Citizens right now. So we reduced it by 75%.
Well, it sounds like the number is just going to keep ticking away with
And it's
tightening
gonna
up
get
that's
smaller.
happening.
So
Yeah.
this might really turn into insurance of last resort. This might
the way it
really
should be.
finally be, which
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
The
Right.
intent. Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't sound like the rules have changed that much. It's now there's more competition, right?
That's
So there's
it.
more carriers
There's
in
more
play, and so
competition.
there's just more policies that fall within Citizens guidelines for their what do they call it? The offloading or the
Right.
Depop.
I mean, you're
Depop.
going to see you're still going to see your Federal Pacific breaker boxes, your cloth wirings, some company, a lot of companies don't like PEX plumbing. Citizens is okay with it. So
it might be that your
older
home
roofs
only qualifies for Citizens. Like
Yeah.
there's no other. Forget about the rate. There's no other carrier that would take your policy, or a AAA carrier, or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, but Citizens premium's still pretty competitive, but with their new, their changes in effective January 1st of this year, all new business policies with a dwelling coverage of $400,000 or more will be required to carry flood insurance.
Oh, that's
so,
right.
and then if your policy renews during that period, if your dwelling coverage is over 400, in order to renew your policy, you'll be required to have flood insurance.
And that's just a Citizens.
That's just a
rule.
Citizens thing, yeah. But
Yeah,
there's a
remember
lot
there
of
was-
companies that are part of the required documentation that you've got to upload to them right now is like a flood waiver, or provide them proof of flood insurance. They either want to see it or an acknowledgement that other people know that this policy.
So even if you're not in a flood zone where your lender requires you to have flood insurance, if your dwelling coverage is a certain amount, Citizens is going to require flood insurance. But because it's not a flood, I'll call it a flood zone, right? Like high risk flood zone, that policy is not going to be
Inexpensive.
super
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
Typically not.
Expensive.
And so then you're kind of like, they're like forcing you to do it, but then you got to, you got a flood policy, and it probably
Yeah.
didn't cost you that much. So
Yeah, I mean, we looked at one the other day, and it was
it's like we know what's good for you.
6,500 for like an alternate carrier, and I think like with his Citizens policy and his flood, it was 6,000.
Okay.
So you're still saving $500, and you're getting an extra policy.
Right.
Where 40% of flood claims happen or for people not in flood zone.
Right. And then the question is always
Wow,
like,
that's a
okay,
good
but
number.
if you have a claim and you got to house Citizens on the claims process versus carrier A, carrier B, and is it still like they're all insurance companies at the end of the day?
Yeah,
Right,
I
as
mean,
far as making a
Citizens is
claim?
the same insurance company. They're just not for profit. They operate by the same rules. Everybody's got to stick to the same claims guidelines and response times, and
They all have the same rules.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go ahead and take a break at this point. On the flip side, we are going to be talking a little bit about mortgage rates and what's happened. Mike was out last week, so we're going to talk. We didn't talk about the Fed cut too much and what's happened since then. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're also going to talk a little bit about flood insurance, just to understand flood insurance a little better. I was going through the different zones for flood insurance, and I got confused. And I was like, you know what? I need to brush up on flood insurance. Ross is going to be on the show. Let's learn about flood insurance a little bit more. So we're going to talk about that on the flip side. So mortgage rates and what's going on with the buying and selling in the market right now. and understanding flood insurance a little better.
Excellent. Lots to get into. Still an hour remaining on this Saturday, the 8th of November. I can't believe it's already November 8th, but thank you for choosing to be with us every Saturday. Always remember, Florida Talk Real Estate. You're on Facebook, on YouTube, lots to consume. And of course, the .com. That's your one-stop real estate shop. Pros at floridatalkrealestate.com. You get them all. And if you're buying a home, selling a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, anything that touches the world of real estate and you need professional guidance, trust me, floridatalkrealestate.com is a wonderful resource for you. Know it, use it, love it, share it. You can absolutely change lives, including your very own, with the pros of Florida Talk Real Estate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Thank you for being with us every Saturday. It's right here on Real Radio.
What's a Real Radio podcast? It's Real Radio on demand. Find your favorite show at realradio921.com. Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. We are expecting a pleasant but warm and humid day. Not as oppressively warm and humid as we're used to during the summer times. However, we are going to see increased humidity as a result of our approaching cold front, which will arrive on Monday.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. New at Lowe's, Pro Block Quick Dry Primer. Expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast, lock stains, and go on smooth for virtually flawless results. Available now in oil and water-based. Grab yours today at Lowe's.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, you can do that. 877-927-6969. Got about 55 minutes remaining on this Saturday. And I'm not going to speak for Jimothy, but I'm fairly certain he'll line you up and put you on the air.
Absolutely. Keep me busy over here. Give us a call, 877-927-6969, like Johnny just said.
Okay, well, at least I can rely on that assumption I made today. And I may not assume anything else. Yeah. I'm 1 for 1 and just end it right there.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks for everything always, dude.
Good to see you, bud.
As a pleasure on my side as well. Johnny C., that's me, your old buddy, your old pal. Mike Rauch is here. He's the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
And Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. He's here as well.
Juno, that's right.
And if you don't believe me that they're actually in studio, we live stream on Facebook, on YouTube, Florida Talk Real Estate on both. You can check them out. You'll also see Jimmy D, Jim DePola, our fearless leader, 13 plus years now running a top producing Keller Williams team, the Florida Home Pros team with Keller Williams Innovations. Hey, Jim DePola, Jimmy D, how you be? 1, 2.
If you don't believe we're here, watch this.
Yeah, 1, 2. We're getting pretty worse at that.
So
Go team!
Yay! I've got spirit. Yes, I do.
I got spirit. How about you?
I'm waiting for Jimmy to be like, listen, guys, we're not quite synchronized on the class. Can we show up here on a Sunday just to practice for a little bit?
Practice. Only 2 hours.
Yes,
like
2
a
hours
band.
practice, right?
Like a band thing. Still got a lot to talk about today. I wanted just to do a couple little more shout outs. Magali, who's listens to our show all the time. Magali, if you haven't given us a review on Facebook, please do it.
Please.
Not on Facebook, on Google reviews, please do it. But Magali just saved $400 a month on her insurance plan. Right. So I was just thinking that's like $33 a month.
I'll take it
less
in my
on
pocket.
a mortgage payment. I think I'll take that all day long.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So it's out there. It's real. It's happening. If you need insurance discounts, you got to give us a call. We're going to, and she also said that she pays for flood insurance, even though she's not in a flood zone. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I want to get into the mortgage stuff just for a little bit. So, Mike, while you were gone that 1 week, Jerome Powell and the group decided to cut the interest rate again, another quarter point. After that cut, our interest rates went up 0.02, I think, if I'm not mistaken. What is the number we're at today? Yeah, up. No, we went 0.05 up. Instead of being a nickel, that's 7 cents more on your mortgage payment, 0.05.
Right.
But we're at 622 now. The low we've had for the year, I think, is 616. So we're still pretty low, but the interest rates are not continuing to go down. This is the first time in a couple of weeks that the interest rates went up. We're talking about slightly, guys. I'm not making a big deal about it, but we're not continuing to go down. I don't think that we are going to continue to go down anything significantly. Like, do you see us getting into the fives by the end of the year? Do you think we'll have like a
there's
5,
another
9, 9,
quarter
9?
point reduction coming, maybe, and so we'll see probably a quarter point reduction leading up to that decision, and then it'll hold or go up or something like that slightly. So,
But the last two cuts, we didn't get a quarter point drop in the mortgage rates.
but we did leading up to the cut,
Not a whole quarter point.
pretty much.
I don't think so, Mike. I don't think so.
6.5
Let's see.
September 4th,
Okay, hold on.
6.17 October 30th.
I think you're there.
And when's that meeting?
It's coming up.
Wait.
You gonna go?
Oh, I was planning on it. Yeah, I just want to make sure I had work covered.
6.3. Weren't we at like 6.3 when they cut the rate one time? Maybe not.
We get down to
No, we didn't
6.17.
we didn't get a quarter point. No.
Well, we've had
That
a
didn't
quarter
happen,
point
no.
drop since early September.
Yeah, but we've had a half point of cuts from the Fed.
Since early September?
Yeah, we've had 2 cuts at a quarter.
But those are happening every 8
Well,
weeks?
right. We're going to have another 6 weeks.
6
roughly.
weeks?
But we're going to have another one in December, right? The last one will be in December, the last meeting. So they're expecting to cut again. And all things being equal, they think that we're going to have another
I
quarter
have to
point
look
cut.
at it. So listen, it's not like an exact, we're not moving a quarter point, but the trend that we are seeing, and I think we can go back and see any of these cuts, is that mortgage rates are anticipating the cut. And then, so they're like coming down toward that level leading up to the Fed announcement. And then when the Fed announces things, we've already kind of preempted it. And then depending on the details of what he says and like what the investment world is reading in the tea leaves from what he says at the meeting, like when they announce it, then we see, okay, well, wait a second. It's not quite so rosy, or it's not quite so bad, or whatever, and you'll see tiny little blips. So that's
what happened this
why
week.
rates went slightly up with what he announced, with his uncertainty about unemployment, and then you had a jobs report come out that was, kind of, matching up with what he was saying he was slightly concerned about, and then the market reacted, and mortgage rates went up slightly, basically because the 10-year Treasury note went up slightly. Why did the 10-year Treasury note go up slightly? Because of global, there's when there is, what is it?
Strong headwinds.
When people are feeling good, the Treasury is like, hey, we're not selling as many bills as we want, so we're going to increase the yield so that we can get more investment in the U.S. bond. So that's what happened. So are we going to get down to 6 by the end of the year? I don't know.
I don't think.
I
so.
don't know. I
don't think. Well, I think we're going to have a 6 at the end of the year. I think the number will have a 6 in it. It might be. It could be 6.01.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to hit the 5s this year.
But what if it sneaks to 5.99?
It could.
Yeah, just
it
for
could,
morale
but I don't
purposes.
Think. It would be. Yeah. but the thing is if we are seeing the rates. I don't know. The thing I'm really concerned about right now is the unemployment. So I've been saying since 2018 that I'm worried about stagflation. So broken clock is right twice a day. But we are setting ourselves up for stagflation right now. Pretty darn good. I mean, if you wanted
you've been saying that for 6 years.
I read 3 things this week that were like, those canary in the coal mine things. I was like,
Well, the thing is what we didn't have during the other times was unemployment problems. We might have had inflation, but we didn't have unemployment. But now we're having unemployment and inflation. That's stagflation. That's what stagflation is.
It's interesting how they dissected just the month, and the headline sensational. You have to read the story, obviously, but October job cuts was the highest October job cut month in 22 years.
Yeah.
And again, the headline was biggest cuts in 22 years. So if you just go away with that, you're like, what? You read through, it's just October. So October to October, the most jobs lost in a month of October in 22 years.
Yeah. And that doesn't actually mean anything
it
yet.
Kind of is a weird.
It could mean something.
Well,
it could be
canary.
the beginning of a trend.
Yeah. Also, the number of repossessions on autos right now is a 14-year high.
It's all about employment, and that's what I've been saying always. Is that if employment changes dramatically, that's when the wheels fall off this cart, because that's what we saw in the last. And I'm not saying we're going to have a real estate crisis like the last time, but I'm just trying to use some kind of litmus test. The last time it was unemployment that really killed us, because what happened was when everything started getting upside down because of all the dirty loans that were written, people were just walking away from that, and it affected the economy in other ways where people started not buying stuff. And that made people lay off more, and it just became a self-fulfilling prophecy where it just got worse and worse. And the other thing is that I didn't know this until last week. 18% of our GDP is real estate related. So when the real estate market goes, that's 1/5 almost of our GDP that's at risk.
Well, you educated us on that a little bit.
Yeah, and I
last
didn't
week,
know
actually.
until I
Yeah.
read it. I knew that it had a ripple effect, that it had all these ripple effects like real estate. I knew it really affected the economy.
Well, it's all
I
about,
didn't know it was 18%.
Yeah, it's all about
What falls
consumption.
under that umbrella of real
Yeah,
estate?
Mike wasn't here last week. So what we explained last week was when you have when you end up buying a house, right? You have the listing agent, the buyer agent, the title company, the insurance company, the property inspectors. All those people are being paid, right? Or the appraiser. All of those people are being paid to do stuff. Loan processors, right? All that stuff is happening. Then when
Moving
the people
company.
buy that, moving companies,
You
right?
got-
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Then
you
when
got-
people
you got
then when
the
people buy,
Rosners, you
then
got-
they're going to fix the house up.
Handyman.
Then you have handyman
okay.
and
Painter,
Home Depot
all
and
of that.
Lowe's
Okay,
and
they're
all
counting
that.
all of that. Okay.
So when
all
you
right.
start including and construction, like the construction to build the houses that are being bought, right? All of that is 18% of the economy, the ripple effect.
Hmm.
So when you have a bad real estate economy, that's 1 in 5, 20, I'm rounding it off, but 20% of our whole GDP is relying on that. So if we
I wonder if credit reporting fees is under that umbrella.
I
like
would
the fees
assume that
paid
they
to the
would
credit
count that.
reporting
Yeah, like
agencies. Yeah.
credit. I would assume that they include part of that. So the ripple effect is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't. The thing that bothers me is just watching the unemployment. I didn't get to read everything I wanted to this week because it was a crazy week for me. But I did read that headline about the October unemployment. But I also read that there was a lot of unemployment going in a lot of different industries right now. I didn't get to read the whole chart, but it seemed like a lot of different industries were laying people off.
A lot of cutbacks, yeah, going on, exactly. And what was the third? Oh, the third thing that I read that was like, oh man, because it was just like 3, like, oh no, was the household debt number is the highest it's ever been in this country. It's $18.6 trillion,
Mhm.
almost half the federal deficit. That's household income debt. Almost $19 trillion. No wonder repos are the highest they've been in 14 years. Everybody's about tapped out. And that's where it gets tough, because we always used to, well, I always say, hey, just keep spending, because that's what we
That's
need.
our economy.
That's our engine. We got to
Mhm.
keep spending. So once the credit lines run out for folks, the spending's going to stop pretty quickly, and then that's where the worry comes in.
Now that being said, with the economy still being weak, if you have strong employment and you're renting, you're missing out. Because this is a really good time to buy. It's still a good time to buy as long as that you could afford the mortgage payment that you're going to move into. It's still a really great time to buy. And what a lot of people, my recommendation is to people that are on a really, really tight budget and they've been renting forever, right? But they really, really want to be a homeowner. You know what I find out a lot of times? A lot of the first-time homeowners right now that I've been dealing with are kind of unrealistic about what they could buy with their budget. Like when I bought my first home, it was a foreclosure. I paid $67,000 for it. This is 1994, and it was a foreclosure. And $67,000 was an $865 a month mortgage payment for me. I remember how much it was, and freaking out that was really high because I think I was paying like $550 for rent, right? And
how much is that in today's money?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Like how long ago were you buying
Yeah,
it?
I know, 30 years ago, right? 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So the thing is that what I did though was I knew that buying a home, even though I wasn't in real estate at that point, I was a journalist. I knew that buying a home would help me grow wealth over time. I also like the idea of getting equity in my home instead of just paying a landlord and having them get the equity. And the tax breaks at the time, right? You got huge tax breaks on your interest, on the mortgage interest paid.
Interest, sure.
And all of those things, it's like, I got to buy the home. And, 15 years later, that house was worth, over $350,000. I paid $67,000 for it. And it was a good move. People should be thinking about that now. I have a home that's coming on the market right now, James and Jones's property. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhome. Mike, you just had Alex, your stepson, look at a bunch of properties that were like those kind
in
of
that
homes.
zone. Yeah,
This house is in perfect condition as far as moving in. Now it's stated it's got original cabinets, but let me tell you, those cabinets look brand new.
They
and you
still
can
open and
reface them.
close?
Not only do they open and close, they're so clean on the inside. You know how when you get the older cabinets, they start collapsing and stuff. This kitchen is like pristine. The mom that lived there, James's mom lived there, took a really good care of her house. The bathrooms are in great shape. One of them's been updated. There's tile throughout. It kind of needs a paint job and carpeting upstairs. And if you did that, you got a great house, right? This house is going to be sold for like 50, 60,000 less than the homes that are fixed up in that same neighborhood. So if you could move in the low twos for this house and over time, and you paint it and carpet it, that'll get you, the AC's good, the water heater's good, the appliances are in great condition.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do is like over time, it's like, hey, one day I want to redo this kitchen. And then you save up for it and you do the kitchen when you want to do it. Or it's like, hey, I'd like to upgrade that second bathroom.
Right.
And then you do it when you want. And
Or maybe you buy it now with like a renovation style.
or you
Like,
could
that
do
would
a
be
construction loan and get it all done now. And then you
Mhm.
owe, let's say, $290 and the house is worth like $335.
There you go.
Right? Because the ones fixed up in great condition in this neighborhood, they're going like $315 to $335. So these are great first-time home buyer houses. Sellers are motivated. A lot of sellers out there are motivated. They'll probably give you money to help pay for a closing cost down payment.
That'd
If
be
you're a
great.
first-time home buyer,
Let's go.
we have all these programs that Mike and I use to help the buyers get money from the state
Even
help
better.
help buy things. I mean, what
With other
more do
people's
you
money?
need? And the interest rates over a 40-year period are historically low, 6.22. Let me tell you, in 1990s when I paid 9.25, right? I would have loved to have 6.62 when I paid 9.25 for my first home, right? In
Yeah.
1994.
I think so when you talk about the economy and all this stuff, the question is, let's say you're a buyer and you're in good shape, you qualify, like your job stable, your income stable, you're not like subject to these like things that we're talking about that are unemployment, high credit utilization, all of that stuff. So let's say so now, should I be waiting for something? Is there something going to happen with interest rates, with housing prices? Like that's the question that the savvy buyer is thinking about right now, Jim. And so what would make them like, and I don't want to say convince, but if you were making the case that don't wait, what would that look like? And if you were making the case to wait, what would that look like?
Right.
The case to wait, I can't even, I don't know what else to say about not to wait.
Right.
Because it just makes so much common sense right now that this is a great time to take advantage of a weaker market if you're a buyer. This is like the perfect time to do that. But not to wait or to wait. Okay, if you wanted to wait, my number one answer would be, how stable is your job? Right? If you feel
Let's
like
assume
your
that,
job,
that it's stable. Like let's
well,
just
then
talk
there's
about
no reason. Well, then there's no reason.
this. I could sum it up. If you're waiting for rates to come down and prices to come down. You need both of those things to happen at the same time. That's what you're waiting for. So to predict that, like, is that possible that both those things are going to happen at the same time?
No.
No.
It doesn't happen. So you're waiting for something that isn't going to happen. You might as well just wait for whatever. It's
If total S hits the fan, and we go into quantitative easing on the Fed level because just everything's bottomed out, including like every market, will the interest rates for buying a home come down?
When we started the show, that's a great question, Johnny. But when we started the show, we were in short sale crisis. I'm looking right now. The interest rates.
So we're looking at like 05. Is that where you're looking?
I'm looking like right now. Yeah, this is what I thought. Like right after the crash. So that was October of 05 was the crash, right? People forget this. But like from 05 until 09, we were in the high sixes to mid fives.
All right, so I
right
guess
about where we are now.
Predictably, if we're using past results, the answer would be no. They're not going to come down to where people want it, but the homes may be worth a lot less.
The homes will be worth less.
And this is a doomsday scenario. There's nothing that indicates the housing market's in trouble.
The only way that I see houses will be affordable again, I'm talking about Florida. Affordability. Okay, we've already seen insurance go down, right? We're seeing that go down. That's going to be a big help, right? Because insurance makes a difference as part of your mortgage payment. But the other thing is, the other thing that we need though is we probably need people are going to hate me for this, but we probably need a 10 to 15% correction in prices. Because when you look at the chart, Ross, you can see the chart right now on this. Look at this chart, right? This is going back all the way to 2006. Okay. So right after COVID, we got here and look at the chart afterwards. It's like a straight up 90-degree angle chart of how the interest rates went from 2021 until 2023.
Oh, Jim,
I mean, it was like this. It isn't on an angle. It was straight up.
There are more times than I can count. I just like 3 nights ago I had this conversation with my wife as we're getting tucked in, ready.
You guys still talk?
Only at night when we're alone. We don't like to pretend like we like each other in public. There are many times that I'm like, I can't believe this house is worth X.
Right. Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
This house is worth. Now I know it's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it, obviously, but it just the valuation of what I sleep in and every night.
For,
like, it's just
for normal
stupid.
appreciation that we normally see in Florida. And I used to say it was 3 to 4% when the rest of the nation was 2 to 3%. But then we kind of moved closer to 5% being average, right? And we've hit 12%, 10%, like crazy appreciation year over year. But if you kind of do it at the 5% thing, we're probably 10 to 15% above
higher.
where we need to be.
Yeah.
And what people forget is when we had the crash in 2005, which was the peak of home prices at that point, we didn't turn around until the end of 2012. Right at the year we started the show is when we started going back up again for the first time. So it took us 7 years. We dropped for 7 years, right? But by 2015, 10 years after the crash, by 2015, we were exactly where we were supposed to be for average appreciation year over year over year for that 10 years. It's just that we had this one blip where we went crazy high for a short period of time, and then we went crazy low for a short period of time. But when the smoke cleared for the 10 years, we're exactly where we were supposed to be. It's just like we had all this drama involved.
I remember you used to talk about that, like if you just drew the straight line.
Mm-hmm.
You used to say, there was years where you're like, and you're like, yeah, you know what? Look, we're right where we should have been. Like we here now where we should have been without this roller coaster.
And in this cycle, because we've seen this high, crazy price increase with the crazy interest increase at the same time, I believe that we're 10 to 15% above. And if we had a 10 to 15% drop, we would be exactly where we're supposed to be at that point. And that would make everything more affordable, right? The average home in Florida, I think, is 440. So if the average home at this point, that would be 385, 400, 375 to 400 instead of a 440 average sale.
Right.
So I really feel like the correction has to come. Something's got to give.
But how?
I don't know how it's going to happen.
Yeah,
That's what I don't get. I think it's going to be unemployment.
It's going to hurt, the equity side of things so much if it really did that, because I agree with you. I think we're a little overinflated on prices, but I hate to say, but that's going to hurt a lot of people that bought at that higher level, and they're going to lose all that equity.
It is. It's going to be very interesting because I don't know how it's going to. I don't know how it's going to unfold, but what I've been saying pretty consistently for a couple of years now. Keep an eye on unemployment. Unemployment is going to tell you where the economy is going more than anything else. I don't care about the inflation stuff because we had 9% inflation under Biden at one point, right? When it got up that high, we were still cooking along.
Yeah, well, it'll again, economy, yes, but how much will affect the housing market? Again, values may not go. Market. It may not change values at all if the economy slows way down, and it may not change interest rates much at all if the housing market could stay right kind of where it is with everything else burning around.
I think that if unemployment happens, the prices will drop. It's
just because of necessity, but like
because the sellers are going to be going into foreclosure,
So
and they're going to
default
sell
rates.
the house in order to take as much equity as they can and not lose all that equity they have in their house.
So unemployment, overextended on credit
at that
equals defaults on a mortgage.
At that
Mhm.
point, though,
Interesting.
why wouldn't you just refi, bite the bullet, go from your 4 to your
Because you
6?
can't, because then you're going to go to Mike. Mike gets this all the time, Johnny. It's a great question, right? So you're going to go to Mike and go, Mike, I need money. I just lost my job, or I haven't made my payment in 3 months, and I got all this equity sitting in my house. I need to tap that equity. And Mike will go, okay. And then he'll look at your credit report. He's like, Johnny, you have to have a perfect
HELOC.
payment history for 1 year.
HELOC.
Can you get a HELOC?
So
If you haven't made a perfect payment
if
history?
you've gotten to where Jim's talking about, no. But if you're anticipating or want to have, if you want to
that's what I'm
safety
talking about.
net
I'm
it,
talking about anticipating. Like
if you want to
Oh,
safety
okay.
net it,
like, don't let it go
Yeah.
to where you're foreclosing. That's
People
going,
do that all the time, though.
but
That's what happens.
there is a way you can be like, oh man, I'm in a bad spot. HELOC can get you there. You know,
if you want to safety net it, you can get approved for a home equity line of credit against your existing equity position, and you're well qualified. You could do it, and you don't have to use that money. That's
Nope.
the thing, right?
it's there.
The
You can draw for
question
10 years,
is-
right?
It depends.
Yeah.
Some of them 5 years, some of them 10 years, some of them, it's just a different structure. So that's a possibility. Something I can talk to people about if they
you're
want.
proactive.
I will caution you,
Hmm.
Johnny, you're able to access that money. And so when the big game is on and you got a feeling, or right, Jim's
I can
like,
change my life.
Jim's like, I just need 10 grand to get into the World Series,
Poker, the
whatever
World
it
Series,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Or that boat or that jet ski. So there's a little bit of a risk factor there because everything's going great, right? Like you just set up the safety net. So definitely something to think about.
But let me tell you what happens in real life with that HELOC, because it happened to me in real life. Okay, so everybody knew that I got in trouble after the crash. I've talked about that on the show before, right? I had a HELOC. One of my things I was using as a back door to make sure that I could keep everything afloat was that HELOC. It's like, oh, I'm sitting on top of this equity. I already have the HELOC. It's sitting there. I'll use it if I need it.
Home equity line of credit for those
Home
that don't know
equity
the
line of
abbreviation.
credit, which is basically like almost like a second mortgage, but it's like a revolving credit card thing.
Based on the
You
equity
only
in your
pay
home.
what you use,
Right.
And if you pay it back, you pay less money every month. But what happened with me, they cut it off, and that'll happen with other people too. So if you get the HELOC, you can't guarantee unless you take
There
the
is
money
that.
out, and it's in your bank account now. If you're just keeping it in that HELOC and you're not using it, they can cut off that HELOC anytime that they want to and just say, sorry, we don't think the value of your home is worth what it is. Or,
Sure.
hey, you're not employed anymore, or whatever, or you're too leveraged with your
Yeah.
credit cards.
There could even
And
be
they'll just shut it off.
there
And then
can
you
even
have no
be
money now.
strategies there. Like, so maybe instead of a home equity line of credit, or you could do a home equity loan.
Mhm.
You don't have plans for the money, but you can stick that money into,
Into a
a
bank.
CD or a high yield savings or something like that. So the interest rate isn't you're not going to get the same. You're going to be paying more on your line of credit or your home equity loan, but you can minimize
Maybe
that
it's
by
pay
putting in
1 or
something
2
that's
points
earning
on the line of
interest.
credit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do a cash out refinance. Like all of those would be something where if you're anticipating troubled waters and you haven't gotten there yet, but you can see it on the horizon. Maybe this guy, like the paralegal, like he's looking for something else because he knows maybe his time is limited. That might be a good time to leverage that equity position, right? Just as a safety
don't
net.
wait
So,
until the catastrophe happens. If you see it coming or you're afraid it's going to come, protect
Yeah.
yourself. And
Now this-
whatever you're going to do, if you have, if you have equity and you're not sure you're going to be able to make your mortgage payment, do not go to Mike after. You got to do it before you start missing any payments, and talk to Mike right away so that he can help you
or
take advantage of that equity play that you've worked really hard for to buy down and watch your house build up value.
You can also, and I don't want to, this sounds a little doom and gloomy, like what this topic that we're talking about right now, but definitely don't put your head in the sand. If you have a lot of equity, you have options. One of those options is sell your home, right? Like you can sell your home even if you're not moving into a new mortgage, right? if you could sell high and then buy low, and you really think that the proverbial S is coming, then the fan is all coming together, whatever it is, like sell, wait for the catastrophe, and then buy, right? Rent in the meantime. Like that's a perfectly legitimate strategy if your crystal ball is telling you something.
There
like
were
that.
so many people during the short sale cycle, Mike, when you weren't here part of the show when we were doing like short sales like crazy. So many of the people that were doing short sales should have done that. They should have just said, look, the market's crashing. I got a lot of equity here. I love my home, but I'm probably not going to be able to keep it. And I'm watching the equity get stripped out.
Yeah.
Let me sell the house. And then I'm going to be a renter, but I'm going to have a whole boatload of money sitting in my bank account. And I'm going to wait for the market to change. And then I'll get back into the market and I'll rent for a little while just to save my equity.
If somebody
and a lot
did
of people
that,
didn't, most of the people did not do that.
it's so hard to do at the time. But look, crystal ball, like we all would have done the exact same thing. Sell in 2005, 6.
Yeah. And then
wait
buy
till
in
2012
and then buy in 2012.
And then buy in 2012.
Right? Yeah.
Just a 6-year window. But like, how can you predict that? Let's look at the bright side. The bright side of things, if you're a buyer right now, rates have come down this year. There might be a little bit more easing on that. Inventory is such that as a buyer, you have a lot more negotiating power than you've had in years, as far as getting the cash challenge, right? How much money is required to buy these homes? So getting either price reductions or seller credits from the sellers, getting a price that's reasonable for you, that may be the difference between a payment that works and a payment that doesn't, you can negotiate there. The down payment assistance programs, although we had the setback with Hometown Heroes, there's other down payment assistance that's out there. So like the cash hurdle is now, I would probably say, more achievable than it has been. And so if you're a buyer and the inventory is up, and you can find a seller that's willing to work with you, and you can take advantage of some of these programs, like you can get in a situation that works right now. And so the only question I would be saying is like, is that a now thing, or should I be waiting a couple months? Should I be waiting for the Fed to do something? I would say that's fine. You can wait, but you better get ready to pounce when it presents itself. Like we've seen rates dip leading up to a Fed decision, and then slight bump ups or flatness after the decision. So if you want to catch that comet by the tail, whatever the analogy you want, you got to be ready. You need to have talked to me. You need to be talking with Jim and have an idea of where you want to buy. What's the price range right now? What's the price point where you're going to make where it works for you? What's the interest rate and combined with the price point that works? Like how much cash you're going to need? Like all of that stuff you can really get out in front of, and then take advantage of it when the opportunity presents itself. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that if you are a potential buyer. If you're a potential seller, there's no reason to wait for anything right now.
Yeah, you can still sell your house. I mean, we just sold Victor's house in 8 days, right? And got a very good price that he was very satisfied with. Did it very quickly. So if you price it right, and Victor's home was not like a Taj Mahal house. It needed repairs, but it had a lot of nice upgrades too. It had
I think the Taj Mahal needs repairs right now.
2019 roof, and it had good stuff in there, but it also needed some TLC. But he was able to move the property right away. Why? Because he priced it correctly, and regular first-time home buyers saw value in that property. It's like, yeah, I could fix that up and make it worth a lot more, and I'm happy with the price I got now. Hey, do you mind if we go ahead and take a break?
Sure, we can absolutely do that. I believe, Timothy, can we do that? We get the blessing.
Let her rip.
1, 2. Florida Talk Real Estate is
bad.
Well, I was just seeing if everyone was paying attention.
I wasn't.
Yeah, they weren't ready. It's a false start. Florida Talk Real Estate isn't.com, your one-stop real estate shop. Know it, use it, love it, share it. We're on Facebook, on YouTube. Consume away, like and share there too, because you never know. You could be putting somebody onto a professional that can change their life, and you can change your very own. If you're buying a home, selling a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do. If you need professional guidance and something that touches the world of real estate, well, we got it just for you. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. That's FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Abbreviated segment remaining on a Saturday. It's the 8th of November. Thanks for being with us every Saturday right here on Real Radio.
Got something to say? Text us at 47142. Start your message with Real Radio. Standard data and message rates apply, and don't text while driving.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yep, 877-927-6969. We got about, we'll call it 16 minutes remaining on this Saturday, the 8th of November. I'm Johnny C. Jimothy's our producer extraordinaire. What's up, dude?
Please clap.
Please clap. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for keeping that alive.
It's going to be amazing once we get the audience to clap along with us.
That will make my heart so happy. Right now, like my daughter is the reason my heart's the happiest. Right? That might push me to a crazy level. Everybody listening does it with us.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone in their cars out there going hands free for a moment.
Just
you know,
for a second.
Yeah.
Just live life. Be with us. Be present. Mike Rauch, he's the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. He's present.
That was me. Hello.
Yeah. Very present here as well on a Saturday is Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach.
Here.
He's right there.
Presente.
If you don't believe me, check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We are live streaming. You can see faces on the screen right there. We do that every Saturday. Even Jim DePola's face is on the screen. He's run a top producing Keller Williams team for 13 plus years now, the Florida Home Pros. with Keller Williams Innovations. What's up, Jimmy D?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, I just saw this just a second ago. Carl from Ireland. Haven't talked to him in a while. He just put out some stuff, so he's listening to us in Ireland right now.
Nice.
We are live on iHeartRadio, so you can listen to us anywhere in the world live, and it turns into podcasts after. The other thing I'm concerned about, Johnny, you said we have 16 minutes left.
Yeah.
I've only got 13 minutes of show prep left.
Oh,
So
that's all
I'm
right.
joking.
We'll
I'm
practice our
joking.
well, we
clapping.
could talk about Carl. Like if you could be, if you're a seller, that could be your future too, right? So you sell
to
and then
Ireland?
move to your dream,
I
like
can't believe that you're saying
retirement
that. 'Cause
location.
That's what this segment we're talking about now. Who's leaving and who's coming
look at
into
that.
Florida? That's so funny that you mentioned that.
Funny.
Carl decided to leave Lake Worth and move to Ireland,
Mhm.
and
Kind of similar.
and there were a couple articles. So with that whole mayor race up in New York, I've been working with several New York people lately.
New
New
Yorkites.
New Yorkers, and they all were saying to me for a couple months now, oh, if that Madami wins, everybody's going to move to Florida, and the prices in Florida just going to skyrocket. That's
Can I
what they're
ask you a
thinking.
question, Jim? Because you've been paying attention to politics for a long time.
Mhm.
Is it a recent development that people will threaten to leave the country or leave their place if the other guy wins or the other gal wins?
Well,
Is that
what
a
I
recent
remember-
thing? Like, were they doing that in the Carter, Reagan?
Well, not Carter Reagan, but when I remember it? I remember it during Bush W, not the first Bush W, and Clinton, the second time, and Obama.
Okay,
I
so
don't know about
relatively recent.
where people were saying I'm moving, but what they were saying back then, I'm moving out of the country.
Yeah,
It wasn't, but not moving from New York to Florida or Florida to California or
But
something.
it's similar, like this
Yeah,
mayor
people
thing.
would say that they were moving out of the country. Very few.
Were they doing
did.
that back in the the FDR days?
I don't even remember
Maybe in
that
the Lincoln days. That's when it started.
Yeah, Lincoln. Yeah. I'm getting out of here.
That's
I'm
before
done.
the beer.
No, we're not leaving the country. The country is leaving you.
Yeah.
We're gonna make one.
So there was this, there's this thing going on. Everybody's thinking that because of the mayor election that we're going to see all these New Yorkers coming down here like crazy. And the fact is that some local realtors are already saying that they're seeing, Mike even said that he has somebody from New York that is coming down here right now. And I'm sure it's going to happen. Whether it's going to be a flood of people is my question. Like, is it really going to make any kind of impact? I'm sure there's people who are going to move down here because, because they're not happy with the politics. So I was trying to figure out who are the type of people that are going to move down here. And it's most likely going to be people who are more concerned about taxes. So higher income people, that probably is going to happen, where they're afraid their tax bill is going to be even higher than it is now in New York, because New York is pretty high, and that they're worried. So what you would probably expect is more wealthy individuals or people that are moving down with businesses.
Well, what can the mayor affect tax wise? So
New York City has taxes.
Yeah,
So if
they
you
have their
live
own tax.
in the city,
Mhm.
there's a city tax.
Yes.
so
So
that's
there's federal income tax, state income
State
tax,
income tax.
city
Mhm.
income tax.
All right, so you work or live in the city. Those numbers can be affected by who's running the city, obviously.
For sure.
But working in the city's tough. That's hard to change if that's where your employment is. But if you live there and you're getting hosed, that's what I was reading, is more people were just moving out of the city, moving more into the, I guess we'll call it suburban areas. I don't really know how far
Right.
you have to go for that. But
Upstate New York, so anywhere outside the city.
yeah, they're driving,
Connecticut.
they're
Jersey.
doing like full on hour-long commutes
Yeah.
or longer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's
But I mean, that's been going on for years.
Forever,
I mean,
right? 'cause the
North
cities just price so many people out.
Yeah.
I will say,
North
like,
Central New
the last
Jersey.
time we had this, where it was like a talking point, was COVID, right? So we definitely had, especially in Palm Beach County, Boca, Boynton, Delray areas, there was people coming down from New York City, and it seemed like it was
For sure.
more than normal.
Right.
And I think the answer to your question is, who's doing that? It's the people that can, for you know what I mean, for whatever
Yes.
reason.
That-
They're either retirement age and looking, they're thinking to come down to Florida anyway, now there's an impetus to do it and the ability to do it. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's something they were planning on doing anyway. I don't know if anybody who's like, just like, oh my gosh, I have to go. I was never going to leave the city, but now I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
But aren't they speculating, like, although you're going to see a lot of big finance companies moving down here?
Oh, there could be some business
related. That's been happening.
Right. But I mean, isn't that going to accelerate?
Well, kind of what's happening in West Palm specifically, in downtown West Palm specifically, is all related to that, Ross. So they're creating what's called the NORA district right now, Northern Railroad Association or something. And they're doing all this stuff. They're putting in a bright line there, a stop over there. They're building all these high rises down there. And it's Stephen Ross from the Miami Dolphins and Jeff Green and a couple of other guys. They're all out there building these big high rises. And
does that make up for what's happening with the Dolphins?
Ross is right. Ross is saying the reason why they're spending all this money on West Palm is because when he knows a lot of businesses from New York that want to move down here, but they say that the housing stock doesn't meet the needs of what the workers from New York want. Like the executives, like the hedge fund people and stuff like that.
What they want.
So what they want is really expensive high-rise stuff like they have in New York. And that's why they're building all those high-rises downtown, because that's what New Yorkers like to have. They like to live that lifestyle.
So it's
they're not really going to be living in Loxahatchee and buying an acre and a quarter and building a big house out there.
Right.
They'd rather have the views and be in downtown, a walkability and all that. The Kravis Center, Clematis Street.
Go to Roxy's rooftop.
Roxy's rooftop, all that stuff. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
So trying to like replace New York. I don't know if it's possible.
So they're trying that's what the process is. So here's what the theory is. Supposedly the survey up in New York is that 25% of the people said that if a socialist got elected mayor, that they would consider moving, and 9% said they were definitely moving of the New Yorkers, right?
So 20%, I'll think about it.
25%.
25%.
9, I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Peace.
Then on the flip side, and I thought this was kind of interesting, there was a TV station in Tampa that did a survey of only 1,000 people. Well, actually, I'm sorry, take this back. Florida Atlantic University did this survey of 1,000 people, asking Floridians, will they stay here or will they leave? And that
if New Yorkers come, more New Yorkers come.
No, not about anything to do New York, just Florida. Are they going to leave or not leave? Like a Florida, because I'm saying what I've been saying is, there's a lot of New Yorkers moving in, but there's also a lot of Floridians moving out. And people don't want to talk about that. They only want to talk about the people moving in.
And that has to do with affordability, right? So if I want to buy a house, I can't buy a house. Where can I buy a house? Let me find someplace that's acceptable.
So according to FAU, maybe we'll try to get this professor on the show. But according to FAU, a growing number of Floridians are, quote, seriously considering leaving the Sunshine State over the cost of living. And that they say 53% of Floridians still believe in the American dream, but 42% of the Floridians do not believe in the American dream anymore.
What?
They also say they just think that it's just not affordable. And
they mean the American dream of home ownership?
Just the American dream in general, that you could do better than the generation before you, and that you can get the things that you want in life, and a growing family and all that, and affordability, all of that, right? 90% said they are at least somewhat concerned about inflation, and 80% are concerned about housing for affordability. And 43% of the respondents in this survey said they live paycheck to paycheck, and only 48% have an emergency fund that can cover at least 3 months of expenses. Yeah. So there's a lot of Floridians that are saying it's too expensive here to live, and they're talking about leaving. So just as many as New Yorkers want to come down here, it seems there's a lot of middle class Floridians and blue collar Floridians who are like, maybe it's not so great to live here.
Right.
And that's what I've been seeing. I've been seeing seniors leaving from Florida. I'm thinking of them just off the top of my head right now, Diane and Muriel and Arlene. There's like a whole bunch of people. I'm thinking Tom O'Reilly. They're all leaving and going out of the area.
But someone's going to buy their house.
And somebody's
right,
buying
you
their
know,
house.
And it's just like in New York. So here's my prediction: for every business that leaves New York, another one's going to come fill its spot.
Yeah, but
you
the
know?
type of people. So if you're losing middle class people, but upper income people are coming to replace, it's going to totally transform Florida, which is what I think this trend is. I've been saying this for a while. I think that we're going to be more like the Hamptons and stuff, where you have the workers servicing the multimillionaires, commuting very far to go do their job, and then they leave, and it'll be seasonal, and you won't have as many people, regular people living down here. I just think that that's where the trend is going over time. I'm not saying in 5 years. I'm talking 20, 30 years. Okay. I'm not talking about I'll be dead.
20, 30 years. Like,
it's going to be completely.
None of us are going to have to work, right? And we're going to have robots like doing everything.
Universal basic income.
We just need to figure that part out, right? Like, what's the level that you live with? How do you earn? How do you become a massive earner on universal basic income? Like, what do you do?
Ask Ma'am Dami.
Oh,
well,
here's a conundrum.
Well, if you want to talk about this, the whole AI thing, this is what I don't get about the whole AI revolution.
Oh,
they're
great.
saying that they're going to lose all these people's, all these people are going to lose jobs, which I believe. But if there's that many people lose their jobs, that means our consumers aren't going to have money to spend, which is our whole economy.
Exactly.
So our consumers are our economy. So when you take them away by replacing them with robots, and that the people that are going to spend stuff don't have any money to spend, how is that going to work?
It's not.
The whole thing sounds like a big fat mess that nobody's thought about, forward thinking enough to figure out.
Thought about.
So we're going to go through a lot of pain on that.
I don't think there's any concern or care. Yeah.
Oh, they're going to concern because the businesses aren't going to have anybody buying their stuff, but they're going to have all these robots making it.
There's a plan. I'm sure there's a plan. We just can't piece it together.
Soylent Green.
I think it's
Soylent Green.
It's going to happen a lot slower than I think what some people predict.
Well, you
That's
think
the
about
problem.
like everyone in this room has a job that potentially could be taken over by AI. So real estate agent, yes. Loan origination and underwriting and approving, yes. Insurance, quoting and managing policies, yes. Content creation, yes. Like all of it. So I can't like your electricians, your plumbers. So maybe you're like your blue collar hands-on stuff, or just the really creative,
the future trend people say that those are the professions that are going to be worth so much money. Plumbers, electricians, all the contractor trades, AC guys, right?
They still
all
are.
of those
they already
guys.
are. I mean,
but they're going to make really good money later. Supposedly, they're going to be doing very well.
So if you're a
there's so few
handyman,
people,
you might have a future.
Yeah,
You just
exactly.
gotta
Wouldn't it
get
be
your
funny
hands
if it
dirty.
kind of swapped after all that? Everybody wanted to be Wall Streeters, and later it'll be like, hey, I want to be a plumber. I want to be an electrician, right? Because I want to make the money. Right. But speaking about affordability, I wanted to talk about this because I brought it up to somebody I was talking to. We only got 2 minutes. St. Lucie County, the highest tax bill in the whole state of Florida. It's been like that for a long time.
Millage rate wise.
Millage rate rise.
What is it up there?
22.
Okay.
Right. And the average in the state is 17 for the millage rate, right? That's the rate that for every $1,000 that's spent, you pay 22 cents or $2.20. I don't remember. On every $1,000.
22 cents per thousand of value.
Value.
Taxable value.
Right. So the thing is that here's the thing I thought was funny about this. Channel 12, they had an interview with one of the county commissioners talking about why is it so expensive in St. Lucie County. And you know what their argument was? Because it's a higher tax bill than Palm Beach. It's a higher tax bill than Indian River. The reason why they're saying it is like, well, we don't have the property values that Palm Beach has.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as average property values, I'm like, yeah, and you've got 2/3 less people to serve than Palm Beach County.
That's why I keep pointing out millage rate versus tax bill. So the millage rate is higher, but the bill is lower. And the reason the bill is lower is because the home values are lower.
That's true. But the thing is, the home values have doubled since we had this show, and they don't reduce their tax bill at all. They keep having the tax bill go up or stay flat.
Like they get the money and they're like, hey, what are we going to do with all this money?
Yeah.
Let's put it into the budget.
Yeah, instead of
Instead
saying
of
let's
lowering the
lower the tax
They're
bill.
opening a soccer complex.
So St. Lucie
Yeah.
County's been famous for that. They need to get their stuff cleaned up and get that tax
Timothy,
bill lower because they're not offering enough services in St. Lucie County to make it that high of a tax bill.
I got
I'm sorry.
rerouted. I was headed up on 95. There was a portion closed. I got rerouted in Port St. Lucie and went over to a place I'd never been, but there was a lot of development over there. What's that area called?
Tradition.
Yeah,
I think,
tradition.
yeah.
Like a
Oh,
lot of development and
Mhm,
tradition. Like
mhm.
homes look like some of it was affordable housing, some of it was more.
A lot of the times when I've been talking about that area blowing up, meaning expanding, so that's the area,
And
The-
it's
the
nice. Like
tradition.
That place
they're
has
doing it
been
nice.
building since like 2005
Yeah.
or something.
Mhm.
You know, like it's been going for a while.
It's massive, and the problem is, and this goes back to what you were saying, is they didn't put in the infrastructure, and I
Mhm.
think that's part of the reason why it's so much higher because they're trying to catch up to that. Or at least that's my perception. I could be completely wrong on that. There's no
It's possible.
science to
And
back
other
that
thi-
up. But
the
I
other
mean,
thing, they have no business taxes. They
right?
don't have any big business companies in there. I know we gotta call
We
it a
thank
day.
you very much for being with us on a Saturday. Always remember FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Please clap.
Pros, experts in their field. 1, 2. Thank you for being with us on a Saturday. Hopefully next weekend we'll have